Yeah, good. Obviously, the preseason went well, um, but none of that matters if it doesn't go well in these 34 games coming up. Starting with the first one here, but it's always a good sign when you have good momentum in the preseason. Very pleased with the way it went. First and foremost, pleased that we're healthy, with the exception of the one injury that we took in Banga. We stayed healthy, and I think you see that in the performances in the latter stage of the preseason, specifically the last two games where we played close to a first 11, 90 minutes, two positive results, two very positive performances on both sides of the ball. And it's always good to get, even though it doesn't count, a win at home, which we did, and a win on the road. So that gives us confidence going into this game. But now the real season begins, and we know it's going to be a long journey, but the guys are eager. I'm eager. We're excited to get off on the right foot, and that starts with March 3rd, this Friday, with 3 points. It's always a little bit more difficult when you have an expansion team. It helps when they have a coach that we know very well, and you start to look at trends and how coaches put things together, and it helps they were here, and you start to see what they're thinking and how they're putting the team together. There's a few questions for us going into the game in a few positions, but for the most part, I think we know very well what they're going to be about and who their key players will be. And their attacking group is talented. They put together a very good front four. We need to be mindful of and respectful of those players because they can hurt you. And we saw that in the game in the first half. Obviously, we had kind of a different group, but playing in that first half. But we got punished on a couple counterattacks, and we need to be aware of that in this game. Yeah, I think a lot of guys have had good preseasons, and you talk about raise their game. We need that. Even the guys that have been starting players here and good players in the league, they have to continue to perform and continue to improve. And I've been very pleased with a lot of the players that have been starters. They've taken their games to that next level. And that was my challenge to them to start the year is we all have to keep our swords sharp. And you're seeing that in a lot of players. And Adi, certainly, you're seeing that. Confidence, his finishing touch. Obviously, he's taken on an even bigger leadership role. I've been challenging the group and key guys to do that, to step up. And we don't want to be a team that's led by one guy. We want to be a team that's led by a lot of guys. And we have the ability from some key players to be a team that's led by 5, 6, 7 guys. And Adi stepped up in that regard, and he's never more bought in, working extremely hard defensively, which sets the tone for our pressing. And I think he's enjoying it because he's got some really good technical players around him who can create for him and put him in positions to score. And that's when he's at his best, when he can be on the end of the final play, the final touch, and finish it, which he's been showing that. But I think Alvis is another one that's raised his game. Vitas has had a good preseason. Everybody, you always think that maybe this is the ceiling of Adi, the ceiling of Valeri, and I'm not seeing that out of them. I'm seeing that they still want to improve and get better. And there were times last year, maybe it was subconsciously or consciously, where there was some complacency out of all of us. So we've not seen that this preseason. We've seen a hunger and an edge and a chip on the shoulder, and that's what you need to be a winning team.